What would One Nation's solution be?
I think what we've seen is that Treasurer, this was a bad budget for a big tax grab. It's completely flawed. It's embarrassing what they have done. And I'll disagree with Bridget. I don't think they should go to the Olympics. I think they should head to the unemployment line. So embarrassing is what they've done. And let me just be clear, the government has already voted for this. The Labor government has already passed this through the lower house. They've already voted for something that they've admitted is deeply flawed. That is embarrassing. And I agree it should be scrapped. And I'll tell you what they're going to do. The Labor government is going to attempt to ram this through in the next 8 days with very little scrutiny, very little, that we do not know the full repercussions. And if they've admitted to this, if they're already admitting that these changes need to be made, what else is in there that is absolutely flawed? This is a disaster for the Labor government. And, I believe that One Nation's campaign to fire the liar rattled them. They realised they're exposed, and that is what has driven them into this hugely embarrassing backflip.
Although, Senator, with respect, I asked what One Nation would do instead. Sorry, Bridget. I just want to get Sean's view on what they would actually do, though, because I said it's easy to fire brickbats, isn't it? But what about your own policies when it comes to solving accusations that there's too much inherited wealth in Australia and the younger generation can't get on the housing ladder?
So we'll focus on the here and now, and we'll focus on the fact that the government has presented a deeply flawed budget, and we will oppose this legislation. So, there are other things that can be done. One Nation has raised the idea of a split income proposal. We've talked about the need to deal with bracket creep. But if we are going to focus on the problems before us now, which is that this government has put a terrible bill, a terrible budget before Parliament, our entire focus is on that it is blocked, it is defeated, and that this huge tax grab is not inflicted on the Australian people.
So, Bridget, many voters would share your concerns, but also maybe have the feeling that you're going to be more concerned in the coalition about addressing One Nation's rise in the polls than actually being an effective opposition to the Labor government right now.
Well, I think that's an interesting kind of take. I absolutely reject it as a senior member of the leadership team. We've been doing the work as His Majesty's loyal opposition day in, day out since the last election. It was the opposition senators who attended the Senate inquiry into this budget bill that actually tore it apart, that actually held officials in the department accountable, that held ministers accountable, asked the tough questions, made the issues with this budget transparent for everybody to see and caused the back down. There wasn't, that wasn't the One Nation senators in there doing the tough work of opposition, exposing this bad budget for what it is. It was the opposition.
The record will show. I was in estimates grilling the ATO on the additional tax burden compliance.
What we may or may... Excuse me, Sean, I didn't interrupt you. Yeah. Our focus is being a good opposition, which is what our democracy needs, and when the opposition is good, you can see what's happened yesterday. The government, a bad government's had to back down.
But Sean Bell, you were smiling ironically there because I guess you must feel that your party has real momentum now. Has that gathered more momentum after Pauline Hanson's speech at the Press Club this week, or has that stalled it a little bit?
Well, I'll agree with Bridget on one thing, that you get good government from good opposition, and right now the party that has been providing good opposition has been One Nation. The way that we have exposed this bad budget, we've, cut through with the people, we've exposed the lies, that is the result. This is what we get. The result is now the government realises that it's completely exposed. They cannot hide this terrible budget. And so I look forward to the coalition, the Nationals, working with One Nation in the Senate in the next 8 days to ensure that this terrible budget and these terrible bills do not come to pass.